it's me, Sandra. I'm a 25-year-old occupational therapist living in Denver, Colorado, and I'm currently working to pay off my student loan debt as quickly as possible while still living life and sharing all of the updates of my financial knowledge and learning and mistakes through both finance videos as well as my vlogs showing my life. This video is one of the former. It is a budget update, which I've been making for about 6 months now, but in this video I'll be changing my format a little bit because before I would just kind of walk you through my finance update and do it kind of live with you. Before real quick that I will put on the first are of course my rent. I thought it'd be more interesting if I more presented the information rather than literally figure it out with you. And I also wanted to be better about including my progress on my financial goals. So in this video I'll be overviewing January's expenses and how I did compared to how I budgeted. And before I would set up my budget for the next month, but my budget doesn't change a lot and it's pretty repetitive, so I'll be leaving that out. I'm open to feedback though if you guys really enjoyed that part. Don't worry, in this video I'll still be sharing all the details of what I spent and what I made, so tag along to get a nosy look into my expenses. And hopefully the more frequent updates on how I'm progressing towards my financial goals will show you both how it's slow but also compounding to get there, because I'm really just a normal gal with a normal income, but there is a new income addition this month because this page is monetized, so stick around to the end of the video to see what I do with my YouTube money. So let's jump into how I did in January. Starting of course with my income. I will remind you that my money is offset a month, so anything that I was paid in December is what I spend in January. That means that I got paid for hours that I worked at the end of November, and that included Thanksgiving Day, which was holiday pay. So my income was a little bit higher than the expected $3,925. I made $4,079, which might not seem like a lot, but an extra $150 from a day is very helpful right now. I also did some babysitting and had some Christmas gifts come in as additional income, bringing my personal monthly income to $4,567. As expected, I spent $1,007 on living expenses, which for me includes $160 for car insurance, $45 for my phone bill, and $900 for my rent/groceries. I give this $900 to my boyfriend who covers the rest of our expenses. If you have a partner and are working towards a shared vision for your life, I challenge you to consider how you can best support each other to achieve that vision. Our vision is being debt free, and he's chosen to support me by allowing me to allocate a lot of my money towards my debt, which brings me to the debt. I was able to put an extra $466 to my student loans this month. Any money that I make not from my full-time job as an occupational therapist, I allocate this way. 70% goes to my debt, 20% goes to investments, and 5% is mine to spend however I want. This includes everything from gifts to dog sitting, babysitting, or like right now I did my taxes, so my tax return. So with this extra $466, I was able to contribute $2,366 from my own pocket to my student loans, and my work contributed $200 to my student loans, bringing my monthly total to $2,566 paid to my loans. I invested an extra $60 to my Roth IRA because of this extra income, so that brought my total investment to $643 post-tax. I do invest up to the match to my 401k pre-tax, so that's about $300 a month. I'll be sharing everything I owe, have saved, and have invested towards the end of this video. So if you're curious how all that's going, make sure you stick around. While I'm shamelessly plugging myself and having you stay here, please like this video because it really supports me. And go ahead and subscribe if you want to tag along for the rest of my journey and watch how my financial progress unfolds. My goal is to have 10,000 of you by the end of the year, so it'd be really great if you join me for this journey. Anyways, on to my personal spending, which I budget $200 a month for. And this is where I'll be making changes to my template because I currently don't like how I allocate what money I have to spend where, especially when I have extra income that technically allows me to spend a little more. So I'll be changing my budget template, but my budget template is available on my Etsy store, and my followers get half off with the code and link below when I release the next version of the template, which I'm currently working on, which will allow me to keep track of how much money I'm rolling over and how much money I have allocated to each area. The price of that will probably be going up because it's proving very difficult to build, but anyone that has the first version will automatically get the second one. So if you're interested in budgeting the way I do, I find my template really helpful, obviously because I made it and also because I can track my expenses and my budget all in one place. But that's my last shameless plug of the video. So anyways, I had some extra spending money from Christmas but did a horrible job of tracking how much, so I have a little bit of overspending in this category, but I'm honestly not that worried about it. And in this category, $88 went to paying for my taxes to be filed, and if my budget's $200, that's almost almost half of my expenses. So the fact that I was only a little bit over budget is very comforting. So what did I spend on? I spent $239. I spent about $30 getting dinner and the train to an Avs game, which was technically New Year's Eve, but it all posted in January, so we're counting it in January, and something for the house on Amazon. And then I went to brunch with a friend one time. I bought a Kindle book and I signed up for a 10K that I'll be running in May. Overall, I'm very happy with my spending. And having such a low budget, like $200 a month, would be very easy to spend unintentionally, but it forces me to be intentional with my money and my time. And I really enjoy being super intentional. Like technically I'm putting an extra $1,500 a month towards my loans, and that's something that I want to do because it's a financial goal that I want to achieve. But I could spend that money if I wanted to, and I could just buy stuff without thinking about it. Like I had someone say to me once, well, if I want it, I buy it. And I just think that's a silly way to live. I like to think a little more intentionally, and if I have something that can serve the purpose, then it works. It just makes me appreciate what I have and the time I have to spend a little bit more. So I like this. But like, don't get me wrong, when I have more to spend, I will find something to spend it on, I'm sure. Travel being a big one. I saved $230 towards my sinking funds. I have a fully funded emergency fund for myself right now. So I currently don't have any other major savings goals. So I just save towards expected expenses every single month to break down the cost and burden of them. So $230 towards my sinking funds. To sum it all up, in January, I made $4,567. I spent $1,246. I saved $230. I put $2,566 to my student loans, and I invested $643, which leaves me with about $80 left over, which will just live in my checking account as a buffer. This channel is monetized, which means it has its own income and expenses to track. I haven't built out an income and expense tracker for it because quite honestly, it's not a lot of income and not a lot of expenses. I also don't pay myself any of the money. None of this money is going to my personal interests or goals. It's currently just living in the business account, and I'll let it grow, and eventually I might need to reinvest it into a business. Again, not enough money. Obviously, I'll keep you posted if that does change and share what I'm paying myself. But for now, we're just gonna let it sit and let it ride. So I'll just tell you what it is. My first month monetized was in December. I think I was monetized on December 7th. So I had 20 days of December to get paid. And in this time, I had one video that was relatively large for me. I think it has like 85,000 views, which I'm a little channel. So that contributed to a lot of paychecks, and it has since slowed down. But in January, I was paid out $288, and my only expense right now is $17 for Epidemic Sounds. So relatively profitable month there. But again, that money is all just living in a business account, and I'll let it grow. So let's take a look at all the accounts, shall we? We won't go into the crazy nitty-gritty details, but big picture wise, I have about $12,000 in savings. I have $3,300 invested between my Roth IRA and 401k, and I don't have any other investment accounts right now because investing isn't a priority. Yeah, I still owe $113,000 in student loans, but I started with $127,000 in July of 2025, so I feel like that's pretty good progress. And that's how January went for me and where I'm at on all of my goals. Thanks for watching to this point. If you made it this far, comment down below your favorite fun fact that you like to share. I need new ones and I want to know them all from you. And finally, YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so you should check it out and see if the algorithm's right. I will see you all in the next one.